Prince William, Kate Middleton and their children all wear NHS blue to lead fifth week of Clap for the Carers, as millions of Britons noisily salute key workers from their doorsteps. Prince William, Kate Middleton and their children all wore NHS blue as they led the latest week of Clap for Carers this evening, as millions of Britons saluted key workers from their doorsteps. The royal couple stood alongside Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis to put their hands together and praised everyone from NHS healthcare workers to shop assistants who are risking their lives to keep the country going. The Duke of Duchess of Cambridge's 3 children have been encouraged to take part in the Clap for Carers every week, and were joined by Prince Charles and Camilla who are currently staying at Birkhall in Aberdeenshire. The NHS and its staff is something that William and Kate have put at the heart of their private and professional lives, and this week announced a new initiative to support key workers by providing a dedicated mental health support system, Our Frontline. For the 5th consecutive week, people from around the country stood out on their doorsteps to clap for a minute as a thank you for the brave staff on the front lines battling the coronavirus. Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who is still recuperating from the virus at Chequers, also joined in with fiancée Carrie Simons. Dominic Raab, who is First Secretary with Mr. Johnson away from duties, was also filmed clapping, as was Labour leader Keir Starmer. The picture of Prince William and his family clapping appeared in a comedy skit with Stephen Fry for the BigNight In, a fundraising telethon to raise money for key workers and those affected by coronavirus being shown on BBC One tonight. In the sketch, the Duke of Cambridge told Fry that homeschooling his children had proved a bit of a nightmare. Really? He added, by the way, have you seen anything good on TV? It's hell without EastEnders. When Fry suggests Tiger King, the Duke said that he tends to avoid shows about royalty. Before getting up to take part in the Clap for Carers, he said, "On my way, let me just see if I can find my socks, and my shoes, and my trousers." Footage of the Duke clapping outside his home with his family was then aired as the tribute to key workers began at 8 p.m. The first emotional Clap for Carers took place on Thursday, March 26, and has happened every week since, in an act of solidarity and praise for those who are dedicating so much during the pandemic. Tonight, people banged pots and pans, dressed up in silly costumes, and chanted their support for the NHS, while keeping a safe social distance, all across the country. Emergency services vehicles blared their sirens and as they paid tribute to their colleagues, and others, while flashing their blue lights. Buildings were also decorated with signs, flags and banners, while the famous BT Tower in London was also lit up in tribute of frontline workers. Tower Bridge and the London Eye were also lit up, as were the famous brick towers of Croydon IKEA. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge previously shared footage of their children clapping, and yesterday marked the 2nd birthday of Prince Louis by releasing an adorable picture of him with rainbows on his outstretched hands in tribute to the NHS. As well as the millions making it out onto the streets, First Secretary of State Dominic Raab also joined in with the Clap for Carers applause in Westminster. Mr. Raab, who is deputising for Boris Johnson while he recovers from coronavirus, said in a Twitter post, "The weekly Clap for Carers in Nashrows is a brilliant demonstration of how the UK unites in moments of crisis. By coming together we will beat this virus." Meanwhile, celebrities have been out in their numbers supporting the initiative, including former Saturdays singer Frankie Bridge and her husband, ex-Chelsea and Southampton football star, Wayne Bridge. Football manager Harry Redknapp, who won the nation's hearts and the I'm a Celebrity crown in 2018, and wife Sandra, also joined in the nationwide clap from their home in Sandbanks, Dorset. Journalist Kate Garraway, who featured in I'm a Celebrity the year after Harry Redknapp, and whose husband, Derek Draper, remains critically ill on intensive care battling coronavirus, also posted an emotional tribute on Instagram. Draper, 52, a former lobbyist and political advisor, has been in hospital since the end of March. Following Thursday night's Clap for Carers, TV presenter Garraway posted a message on Instagram in which she said, "Where there is life there is hope." Alongside a video, she wrote, "Another emotional Clap for Carers and never has it been more needed. If this pandemic lockdown is dragging on for us, imagine what it is like for them. Shift after endlessly long shift, bravely going to work, to battle the virus and give our loved ones a chance. None of those keeping my Derek alive have ever made me feel it's a chore. They want to win this as much as I want them to, but it must be so hard. He is still critically ill on intensive care, but where there is life there is hope. Thank you NHS from the bottom of my heart. Thank you too for all your wonderful messages and advice of how to get through this. The Good Morning Britain presenter said she was gathering the things that have helped me and would be posting them on clubgraway.com, her well-being website, for free. The touching gesture of national solidarity came just hours after a virtual tribute to the NHS was traced across the skies of North Antrim just hours before the weekly clap for carers. The Northern Ireland fixed-wing air ambulance, operated by Woodgate Aviation, were behind the initials on Thursday. The route taken by the King Air BE-20 aircraft could be seen on flight tracking apps Planefinder and Flight Radar as it flew at 15,000 feet over Coleraine and Ballymoney. The air ambulance was on a proving flight following maintenance work at the Woodgate hangar at Belfast International Airport. Pilot Nick Byrne, from Bangor, Co-Down, was at the controls during the solo flight. Completion of maintenance work on the King Air coincided with the weekly clap for carers when people show their appreciation for NHS staff, he said. We decided we would try to write NHS in the skies, which could be seen on aircraft tracking apps. I've never attempted anything like this before, and although there was a little wavering, I'm delighted with the outcome. Woodgate Aviation Operations Manager Keith Mackay added, "We have a long track record of working with the highly professional and dedicated staff in the NHS, and this was our way of applauding the tireless work they do in our hospitals. We all owe frontline staff such an immense debt of gratitude that we felt this would be a fitting and novel way of recognizing their efforts on our behalf." Meanwhile, a group of nuns, which include a well-known Newcastle United superfan tonight, joined in on the national celebration of key workers. The nuns, who live at St. Anthony's Convent of Mercy in Sunderland, Tyne, and Ware, stood on the street applauding in a moving show of solidarity with the nation's key workers. Sister Josepha Matthews, famous in the region for being a dedicated Newcastle United fan, played the guitar and sung 3 hymns while the rest of the nuns joined in. The 67-year-old, who is the youngest nun in the convent, said, "We are usually pretty quiet. We don't go out on the street making a noise. But I want everyone to know we are thinking of them." The nuns sang the hymns "This Little Light of Mine," "He's Got the Whole World in His Hands," and "Give Me Joy in My Heart." The nationwide clap came as 2/3 of Britons have said the UK should be given an extra bank holiday to celebrate medics and care staff who battle the coronavirus pandemic. As campaigns such as Clap for Carers, Captain Tom Moore's Walking Challenge and other fundraising appeals shine a light on how much the UK loves the NHS, many think healthcare workers deserve further recognition. So far in the UK it has been reported that over 100 NHS and care workers have died from the coronavirus, and the report suggests the public want more to be done to ensure the safety of key workers. A report by the Institute for Public Policy Research think tank revealed that Britons want a new bank holiday, to celebrate both health and care workers. A YouGov poll found that almost 2/3 of the population supported this proposal, compared to a quarter who opposed. The report also found that the UK supports more intervention from the UK government. The public wants more substantial support for workers putting their lives on the line to fight the coronavirus pandemic. 96% of people polled agreed the government should introduce more support for healthcare workers' physical health. This is while 95% of people supported more support for their mental health needs. 88% were in favor of more generous pay and leave entitlements for them. The report also proposes a 5-point plan for a care fit for carers. The guarantees echo that made in the First World War. During that time there was a Homes Fit for Heroes. The new report demands that the government must deliver such a package for NHS and care workers. The 5 guarantees would be, safety, accommodation, mental health, pay and care. It warns that if action is not taken, There will be a serious strain on key workers. Chris Thomas, IPPR Health Research Fellow and lead author of the report, said, "Our care heroes are making significant sacrifices to pull our country through this crisis. But government must ensure people's lives, livelihoods and security are not lost unnecessarily. That means taking urgent action." Care Fit for Carers is about giving the heroes of the coronavirus pandemic the protection, support and security they need. No one should have to put their health at risk because PPE is lacking. No one should face a mental health crisis because no support was there. And no one should face financial destitution while delivering our crisis response.